One shouldn't take crazy stuff seriously because there's nothing normal about crazy stuff, and you don't want to pretend there is. Problem is, this is the golden age of crazy. You have this in D.C., this in California, this in London, and now in Boston, State Democratic Rep Dan Hunt introduces a bill that makes using the word, let's say used to describe a pregnant dog, punishable with 6 months of jail time. Now, before you dismiss this as piffle, let's not forget it made it this far, from a citizen to a governmental body in a large city in a large state. Crazy is like mold. The longer you look away, the bigger it gets. Some people will defend this bill saying, hey, well, I don't agree, I understand, words can hurt. Well, no, this is what happens when you pretend crazy is never gonna get out of its crazy little box. But crazy's out of the box, which was the college campus, then the California legislature. Now it's spread to media, to HR, to government. When sane people go for shelter, the crazy comes out. The socialist runs for president, words get banned, secret cabals undermine a duly elected government, egged on by the media. And they call you crazy? No, real crazy is on the march. Crazy wants to turn math into gibberish. It wants to ditch school grades. It blocks people from going to work. It throws fluid on politicians. It mobs people at their houses, spits and punches at those for wearing hats, concocts hoaxes to incite violence, keeps the sick and drug addicted on the streets, brands biology a phony construct. And now they want to make insults illegal? They also think the world's ending in 10 years. With them running the asylum, who can say they're wrong? Jesse, this crime, to say the B word, I'm only doing that for the producers. I would have said it, but I don't want the producers sad. You're welcome, Megan. This crime only needs to be verified by the person being called a B word and a witness. So Dana and I could just set this up. You could say, Jesse called you a B, and I could say, I saw it, and then I get to sit there.
You want to sit there?
Not really. Talk people. No, but you can get
Greg, if you want to switch seats, we can switch seats.
No. You would go to jail for. We should do that tomorrow. 6 months. You'll go to jail and you pay a fine.
That's true. A big fine. Now, listen, Greg, when the Pilgrims landed,
and
they had no food.
Yeah.
I think they said, son of a, we got to get something to eat.
Yes.
Or how about Lexington and Concord, the beginning of the American Revolutionary War? You got muskets flying. I think some bad words were used in. The first governor of Massachusetts, John Hancock.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a problem? How about this? The Patriots. You know, they're playing the Jets. Tom Brady's talking trash at the defense, making the Jets defense his... You know what? Is that going to be a problem if that gets picked up on the mics? Are they going to find Tom? It's ridiculous.
That is a sound argument.
Thank you.
Yes.
I rest my case.
Good one's a good case.
Okay, Juan, 2 students were arrested at UConn. This was another story for, I think they said the N-word. We have the tape. Okay, but let's show the tape because you're not going to hear anything anyway. But, all right, that's good. They got arrested, but you have to agree, I don't think the First Amendment has an exception for insulting or even racist speech, right?
No. And I'm a journalist. I'm a big proponent of the First Amendment. But I will say that when you have hate speech, in other words, burning a cross on someone's lawn.
That's an act.
Yeah, but it's considered hate speech, and it's an action. But, I mean, if you said this, by the way, I mean, what Jesse's talking about with Tom Brady, you know, demeaning the defense, that's not what this is about. This is about using the language to intimidate, insult, and that's why the woman went to her politician in Massachusetts.
This needs to be illegal. What a weak person.
I don't like it. But to my mind, you do have words that are fighting words that can cause public harm, that you have, you know, you can't scream fire in a crowded theater.
Yeah, but that's not what this is.
Right, that's what I say.
By the way, how many people shout fire in a crowded theater? It should be illegal.
You know, this is what happened with Westboro Baptist Church. Remember when they were allowed to hold a protest at a military funeral because they opposed the military's acceptance of gay people. But you know what? At some point, the courts did say, hey, you know what? You can't interfere, and you got to stop. You're demeaning people in the midst of expressing their grief.
You know what's interesting about Westboro, as repulsive everything was, at least they set a standard. I mean, it's like that's the one you always like. It's like that is so patently awful.
Right.
But
it's obvious.
Yes.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
So, and then what's ironic too is that you have a state like Massachusetts where you have, and it's bipartisan, but mostly it's been coming from the left, that you should reduce jail time.
Yeah.
Right? But now they want to increase jail time for this person. Also, you listed all the places where this has originated, and then has infected all of our places. But you forgot the United Kingdom.
Yes.
This actually happens in Britain. You can be arrested because Jesse overheard us talking, and then then we're frog marched out of Fox News in jail for saying a bad thing.
Or get screwing up on pronouns.
And their list is not just the B word, right? Their list is anything.
You misgender.
That's right. You can go to jail.
And in Canada, too. But Dr. Nicole, swearing is therapeutic. It's stress relief.
Actually, it is cathartic, everyone.
Yeah.
Cursing is cathartic, and there actually have been many small studies that show it releases endorphins and stress relief and all the other things. This is encroaching on First Amendment. It's a broad overstretch for disorderly conduct, and I think they need to stay away from First Amendment rights.
Remember when Dana cursed on the show?
Oh, yeah. You know what she was saying?
But truth is a defense.
Yeah,
it is.
I don't trust people that don't curse anyway. There's something. There's something.
No, when a guy takes an
them.
alligator and tapes his mouth and runs around a convenience store scaring people, he should be called that word.
That word.
What was that word?
What was that word again?
A word.
Somehow I don't.